want to disrespect because Rory's my man, but I've always felt Maul's work ethic is just, I don't know. To me, it just seems odd. I think it came across when they were asking about who to bring up on the pod and would you go on Drink Champs or $1 million worth of game. And he was like, I wouldn't reach out for an interview. I was like,
Yo,
damn.
can we wake it up over here? Like,
Go ahead.
I
Go
know
ahead.
y'all be
Nah.
doing the science, but some science y'all leave alone.
What
Did,
science?
did y'all
Like,
watch the last
can we
episode?
wake it up? Like, I didn't hear enough of y'all after this Julian shit say, you know what, man? In hindsight,
Uh,
You was wrong.
you
never
was
mind.
wrong.
Never mind.
Let me get my
Wait,
laptop.
no,
Yo, if two
no.
people say the same thing,
Whoa. I actually said I don't know if I want to say it here, but
Say
fuck it.
it, nigga.
I actually said at
Here.
some point Rory and Maul knew that Joe was right.
No.
all right
I
about
did say
what?
that.
Wake it
When
up.
it
Don't
comes down,
stop doing the science.
You
Hold up,
talking about
man.
how much it cost the pod, right? Like how much it cost the pod, like the
No, he
don't
investment.
tell a
the
nigga to don't
it's
stop.
it's about what Maul's work ethic was and what he brought to the table every day.
I don't know. As someone who makes content now, I couldn't imagine at the time, like seeing it with the lens of a fan versus the lens of someone who has a channel. Maul would piss me the fuck off. I'm
I,
not gonna lie.
truly, that's the only thing I empathize with Joe with, because I worked with someone who was like Maul, who brought nothing, who cut everything down, and could never grow anything. That shit is frustrating.
What's good, people? It's your boy, The Kitchen. Now, this is something that I have always wondered, not just myself, but other fans of the Joe Budden podcast, and that is why they feel like Maul is lazy and is, in fact, the weakest link. I've always wondered why people feel that way. Now, could it be because he's always been a laid-back guy? He's always come off as nonchalant. He always comes off as too cool for school. Could that, in fact, reflect his business mind and what he does behind the scenes with the podcast? Because to keep it real with you, we don't really see Maul do interviews outside of his own podcast. And when he does these 2 or 3 rare interviews, we don't really have insight into Maul's mind and how he thinks about certain things. We only ever hear Drake news, what he's listening to, and Joe Budden hate. That's all we get from him. We don't really get anything new from Maul. So I guess I can somewhat understand what the JBP fans are thinking when it comes to Maul, because he doesn't really put himself out there as much, or if at all. And from that clip you just listened to in the beginning, Joe did kind of warn us that Maul doesn't really do much behind the scenes, and he doesn't really bring anything to the table when it comes to business. Because to keep it real, when it comes to Rory, I see him produce albums outside of the podcast. I see him in a recording studio. I see him do A&R work. So Rory does 2 or 3 things outside the podcast. Whereas Maul, I don't see him do anything outside the podcast. I even remember when Rory and Maul left the podcast, Joe would do an interview and he would say how he came up and pitched ideas to Maul. Like, I remember Joe saying every other week he would turn up to the podcast with new sneakers, and he thought in his head, how about I pitch a show with Maul revolving around sneakers, because Maul has a love for sneakers and it won't feel like work. But Maul didn't want to do that. And this was around the time where Joe only had 1 show, but he wanted to build and start multiple shows to create the network that he has now. So this was before See the Thing Is, this was before The Trenches, this was before Girl I Guess, all those shows that Joe created but eventually scrapped. So when the tumultuous breakup happened, Joe would repeat the sentiments that Maul was lazy and never really did anything or brought anything to the table, and this kind of annoyed Maul a lot. So much so that he had to reply to it.
You was still rapping and shit. I had you do verses for niggas that I know. I had you do videos with niggas that I know. Like I had you through walkthroughs with promoters that I know, like in different, like in Connecticut and shit like that. Like I tried to like bring shit to the table, like, but again, it's never about money for me. It's all about you my man. Listen, if it's some bread out here to get, go get it. If I know some niggas that's trying to do a party and they want you to do a walkthrough and all that, yo, here, let me set it up for you. But now, you know, that is bigger money coming in and all that, shit just got weird, bro. Like, shit just got very weird for me, and I'm not good with doing weird shit. I don't do weird shit. I don't like weird energy from niggas. Like, I remove once I see niggas doing weird, funny shit, I just get away from that. Like, I don't even want to be around that type of shit. And now it's to a point where you saying things and, you know, you got other niggas in the room saying things and chiming in. And I'm like, yo, what's up with y'all niggas? Like, what the fuck is going on? So now I'm sitting here working. Now everything is starting to become really clear to me. Like, shit is starting to really become clear to me. Like, oh, you niggas been having little conversations and conspiring shit for a minute. You niggas been trying to, like, set shit, you know, playing with the chess pieces and try to set shit up to look a certain way for a while now, because now that the shit is out the bag, I'm starting to see everybody's true feelings on certain things. And people is talking about...
No, I can't lie. I do believe Maul. I do believe that he tried to bring things to the table. I do believe he is a team player. But now that Julian alluded to the same thing Joe has alluded to, and they don't talk at all, I'm not gonna hold you. It does look funny in the light.
This is a letter to anyone out there that is doing their best to communicate, but your message falls on deaf ears. This is a letter to anyone not being seen. Let me speak directly to all of you. Your career, your goals, your dreams shouldn't tick away like a QB taking a knee to run out the clock. I've lived it. You've lived it. Year after year, pushing back the version of yourself you envisioned as those around you reach higher heights. You've done things that have put money in the pockets of others, hoping that one day that beautiful karma would find its way back to your very own. You've orchestrated in the shadows, making sure the facade doesn't seep through to the public. You work twice as hard to make up for others' lack of work ethic. You placate the middleman for those too divided to speak to each other. You go to work, smile, continue to make up for everyone's shortcomings, abandoning your own along the way. But you must be a team player. But a team implies no individual is greater than the whole. You find solace in some of the supporting cast. One quits. Damn. Then another. There's a pattern here. Now it's just you and one other colleague.
I'm just saying it looks very, very convincing. And I don't see Julian to be a liar. I don't know why he would lie about something like this, especially when he was the one that was fired. I mean, come on, he would talk about working twice as hard due to other people's lack of work ethic. He would also say he's done things hoping that his beautiful karma would come back to him. Now, who says my beautiful karma? Who says my karma's beautiful? Who says that? Maul says that. So he's shooting at Maul. All I'm saying is that there is merit to these accusations. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm completely wrong in my assessment? Do you guys feel like Maul can play a persona in front of the camera and be somebody else completely behind the scenes? Or do you guys feel like Maul is just completely lazy and Rory should separate himself from him? Like I said, let me know in the comments. Till next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.
And then you saying shit, I lived with you. You making it sound like, nigga, I wasn't. When you met me, I had money in my pocket, nigga. I might have had more money in my pocket than you had if we keeping it 100. I was always hustling. Always. Always doing shit I shouldn't have been doing. That I didn't really want to do at a time in my life. Allegedly. But I'm just saying, like, I was always a nigga that, if I had to go get it, I would go get it. So don't try to paint me like I'm some nigga that you found on the street and I was fucked up, I was homeless, and I was sleeping on your couch. I'm hiding detergent and all this shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let's talk about what you hiding. Because every time it's a talk about accounting, it's always some argumentative energy coming from you only. Not from me, not from you.
Never.
I'm never arguing about money, especially not with my niggas. I'm not doing that. But if every time we present some shit about accounting and you want to start arguing to them, well, audit me then. Fam, I'm never taking my niggas to court. And the first thing you say is, if y'all try to start a podcast, I'm suing the pants off of y'all.